Hey, what's going on, guys? Room Gaming here, back with another video. Today's episode, we are taking a look at Demonology Warlock in a Mythic Plus setting for Season 2 of The War Within. Now, this will probably be one of my better guides, specifically because this is the spec that I've mained in The War Within. Uh, Especially in Season 2. I didn't play Warlock in Season 1, but in Season 2, that's pretty much all I've been playing. So this and my Destro Lock guide, I think will be pretty decent. But yeah, I just wanted to cover like everything in terms of single target, AoE rotation, priority, and also like some of the weak auras and them using to like track my minions and stuff. So let's first start with just kind of some of the stuff that you're seeing here on the screen. So pretty much everything here is just like the default UI outside of a couple weak auras. So this right here is my Tyrant. I just run an action bar right here vertically. And I put my Tyrant here because the entire spec works around your Tyrant windows. It's on a 1 minute cooldown, which is really good for a Mythic Plus setting because this is going to be something that you're really going to have to like strategize around. You're going to want to sing cooldowns with this. You're going to want to make sure you have certain minions and imps up when this is available. And the reason for this because the Tyrant does two things. It makes your active imps more powerful, and then any imps that are actually active before you summon the Tyrant, they get their timer extended. So your Tyrant is going to kind of be like the cherry on top to everything else. You are setting everything up for a very big Tyrant window. And I did forget to mention, I have a link in the description below if you want to follow along with some of this stuff, get a little bit more in-depth guide on what Demonology Warlock is, a little bit more... I guess say a little bit more of the basics around Demonology Warlock should be covered on the website link. So go ahead and click that. It's going to have talent builds and all that good stuff in it. But anyways, getting back to what we have here. So I want to go over the weak auras first. If we go into weak aura, our weak aura screen, we have a couple things. The first one here is going to be our imp tracker, and I'll put that in the description of the video. And the way this works is this is simply going to have little bars here that track your imps. And this is very important, mainly only due to your implosion. So if you don't know what implosion is, this is going to be a pretty core part of our AoE damage. And typically what we're doing right now is implosion is not quite as important to us as it has been in the past. And a lot of that is due to how our tier set works. Typically, you're only wanting to implode at the very end of a Tyrant window, or when your Tyrant isn't up and imps are about to expire. So how do we know when imps are about to expire? Well, I'll show you with this weak aura. I'll just summon some imps, and you can see as I summon imps, I get more of these bars. The 4 is the number of charges that they have, and then this is the number of seconds that they're alive. So right here is where you'd want to implode with that 1, and you want to try to implode right before that timer expires so you can get your full damage out. I guess a better way to explain that is you want to get the maximum value out of your imps, so you want to implode them at the last second. So we have that weak aura there. We have another weak aura here that tells us if our pet is on passive, and I believe that comes through, yeah, it comes through this. This is the Kalamazi War Within weak aura, and this is very, very important. This is just as important. If there's 2 weak auras you get, it's the one I just showed you, the imp tracker, and then this War Within weak aura. And the reason that this is important is because this will show you your pet timers. And this is very important because we want to make sure that we're sending our Tyrant. We want to make sure we're not sending our Tyrant once our pets have expired. We want to make sure that as many pets are up as possible before we send our Tyrant so that we can get that increased damage from them. So it's one of the downsides kind of playing Demo Lock is you do have pets that you're trying to manage. They're very annoying. However, once you get the hang of it, it's really not that bad. And really the setup is easier than you would think. Then just to show you what this looks like, you can kind of see the timers on this. So this is what it will look like when something has procced, something like, for example, your Dreadstalkers here. When you get a Dreadstalker proc, it will kind of glow and let you know, hey, you want to press this button. And then you can kind of see the timers here as things start to count down. It's again, just going to help you be able to track your pets. Like right before they expire, you're going to know. And we'll get into that a little bit more as we get through the guide. Another thing that's really nice about this is we have this warning here for like if you have the wrong pet out or if your pet's on passive. So you probably saw it earlier when I put my pet on passive, this text popped up in the middle of my screen. It's really important, right? Because it's very easy to forget about your pet sometimes. just something else we don't have to manage and think about. So I'm going to put him back on assist, and you can see the message goes away. We have another weak art here for our Soulstone. This is just a Soulstone reminder that will pop up and say, hey, make sure you put Soulstone up on yourself. Typically, I'm always putting Soulstone on myself, especially if you're the only like B-res in the group. You want to make sure Soulstone is always on yourself, because we're kind of unique in the fact that we can B-res ourselves. And if you die, all the B-reses are gone essentially, and nobody's going to be able to B-res you. So you're going to have to be kind of self-reliant, and just ensure you're keeping Soulstone up on yourself. And then we have another weak art here called the Totem Pet Tracker. I will put this in the description as well if I can remember. And this is pretty cool because the purpose of this, I'll just call my Dreadstalkers here. So this is going to show you basically the remaining duration on any sort of pets that you have active. Now, you can also, just use the Kalamazi weak art as well. But I like having this because when there's nothing here, when there's nothing that's popped up on the screen, this is going to tell you, hey, you can do a Demonic Tyrant window because all your pets are ready to sin. But if I have a couple pets that pop up here in the top right, that's going to tell me, hey, hold on for your Demonic Tyrant just for a couple seconds, whatever the timer is, because you need to make sure that you get those pets out before the Tyrant so that you get the extension on the duration of those pets. So you don't have to do that, just something that I do. Okay, that's pretty much my general UI. Let's go ahead and jump into, I guess just kind of get into like some of the core rotational spells. And I can kind of explain what I do on some of the stuff. You don't have to do this. Like, for example, I have this macro here, and I just used it. It is this one here. So this is going to do, so Power Siphon, excuse me, that's the wrong macro. It is this one here. So Power Siphon and Charhound are both on a 30-second cooldown, so I just send them together. Now, Power Siphon, if you don't know, it's going to give you Doombolt stacks, instant cast Doombolts. And so sometimes you will overcap on those stacks if you play with a macro like this. It's not perfect, but it's easy for me, and it simplifies the amount of buttons that are on my screen. And anytime that I'm about to send a Charhound, I'll just send a Power Siphon right in front of it, and I'll get 2 more charges on my instant cast Doombolt. Yeah, I was trying to think of the name of it. Yeah, Demonic Core procs. So you can see I just used my Power Siphon. I got 2 Demonic Core stacks. Now sometimes you will be at 4 Demonic Core stacks, and you're gonna need to get your Charhound out. So you're gonna press Power Siphon and basically overcap at 4 stacks. So that's why it's not the best idea to do if you can get around it, but it just helps me use Power Siphon more in my rotation, and it actually leads to me personally overall more damage because I'm getting more Demonic Core procs throughout the overall length of a dungeon. So I like to macro them together. You don't have to do that. So let's just talk about our pets really quick. So we have imps, we have our Dreadstalkers, we have our Charhounds, and then we have our big boy here, our Grimoire Felguard. So he's on a 2-minute cooldown. So what I like to do is I like to send him with my trinket. So this is going to be another macro here that I use. It is this one here. So I play Orc. So all this stuff here is on a 2-minute cooldown or greater. So I have Blood Fury. I have my trinket, which is on a 2-minute cooldown. My Felguard, which is on a 2-minute cooldown. And then Tempered Potion, which is on a 5-minute cooldown. So I'm sending all of that together in like one big ramp. So just to show you what like my typical ramp looks like, I'll Power Siphon into Charhounds. I'll call some Dreadstalkers. I'll use a Demonic Core proc. Oh, my pets are on passive. And then I'm just going to build. I still have time. Okay, now I'm going to start using my Trinket macro. Get everything out. I'll Tyrant at the last second. And you can see I got an extension on my pets there. And that is my opener. And you see I'll just, continue to ramp. And then as your imps expire, right, you can get like a 20+ imp implosion in there, which do a ton of burst damage. Very important to do that at the end of a Tyrant window. I didn't check there. I might have missed my Dreadstalkers by like half a second there before I got the Tyrant out, so I might have lost it. I couldn't really tell. But that is the general opener. And I think I did mess it up, but my pet being on passive really threw me off. So we'll do it again here in a minute. I don't think I set my Demonic Strength in that, so let me show you that macro. So what I do is your Tyrant and your Demonic Strength are both on 1 minute cooldowns, so I send them together in their own macro. So I'll summon my Tyrant, and then I will Demonic Strength. Again, both on 1 minute cooldowns. So I just like to sync those two up. And the reason that I have these macros, the reason I like these macros is because it takes all the thinking out of it. I just get my pets out. I'll get try to get 5 or 6 imps up before I summon my Tyrant, and then I will just build imps with Hand of Gul'dan. So getting a little bit scattered here. There's a couple things I missed, especially if you're a beginner Warlock. The way I got all those imps, in case you're new to Warlock, is through Hand of Gul'dan. So you're going to build Soul Shards with your Shadow Bolts, your Doom Bolts, and you're going to spin those Soul Shards on your Hand of Gul'dan, which will in turn summon you a whole bunch of imps. So I'm going to put my pets back on assist. Let's take a look at that rotation again. So Power Siphon, Charhound, Dreadstalkers, Demonic Core Proc. We'll send 2. Go ahead and Hand of Gul'dan, Shadow Bolt, Hand of Gul'dan. And now I'm sending all my cooldowns. And then at the end of this, we will implode it. Dreadstalkers procced again. And then about right here, I'll send a big implosion in AoE scenarios. And again, that's kind of my opener. And we will kind of break this down a little bit more on our next Tyrant. I want to show you what's happening to our pet timers. So the reason we're sending our Tyrant at the end, and I've already explained this, but again, in case you're new to Warlock, this is very important. Or in case you're new to Demo. The reason we send our Tyrant at the end is because it increases the timer on all of our summon pets. So let me just send Dreadstalkers. You can see there's 12 seconds remaining on it. And then I'm going to go ahead and send my Tyrant. So watch this timer here. You see it jumped up to 18 seconds. And my Dreadstalkers are now buffed more as well. So it's very important that you get these 3 pets out. And that you send your Tyrant after those 3 pets are out, because you will not get their timer extended unless they're already active. So you're really going to have like 2 windows. You're going to have a big window with your Felguard, and then you're going to have kind of a mini window with your Charhound and your Dreadstalkers. So you're going to kind of be flip-flopping back and forth. You're going to have a big Tyrant and a mini Tyrant, essentially. Now, another thing I'm going to talk about is Doom. So we are running Doom, and these talents might differ a little bit from what's on the website, but it's going to be something pretty similar to this. We're running Doom, and that actually spreads through your Demon Bolt. So let's see if we can get a Demonic Core proc. Oh, we just Power Siphon. So I'm going to press my Demon Bolt, and you can see I get this ticking dot, and this dot is going to do a whole bunch of damage after it expires. Now, what we want to do in AoE scenarios is we want to basically spread our dooms around to as many targets as we possibly can, because that doom is ticking each second, and the more dots that we can get out, essentially, the more damage that we're going to do. We get more ticks of doom. Another macro I want to show you guys is our Felguard. So we can Fel Domination before our Felguard. This is something that's very annoying about Demonology, is without Fel Domination before it, your summon Felguard is a 5-second cast. But with your Fel Domination, it's nearly instant cast, right? It's half a second of a cast. You can see I just did it right there. Now, if you die as a Demonology, you will lose your pet. So if you die back-to-back within a 3-minute window, you're not going to have that Fel Domination. So you're going to have to spend 5 seconds on top of your run back to your group to get your Felguard back out, which is super, super annoying, but that's just part of it. But I just want to show you this macro. It's in one button press. So you can just put it on your action bar somewhere and just press it twice. I also have one for Demonic Circle. I'll show you how that works. It's on my Alt 5. This is going to cast our Soulburn, Demonic Circle, and then our Teleport. Oh. Demonic Circle. I messed it up. We'll go ahead and fix this real quick. Okay, I think I got it fixed. So what we can do is Soulburn into a Demonic Circle, and then we can press it a third time, and we'll snap back. And it's all in one button press. Now, the reason you went to Soulburn is because Soulburn will buff various abilities. Go ahead and bring that up. If you Soulburn before you Gateway, if you Soulburn before you Demonic Teleport, Drain Life, Healthstone, yada, 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 it's going to give it an added effect, and it's going to make it stronger. So with Teleport, if we use it before Teleport, we get 50% movement speed. If we use it before Gateway, we get instant cast Gateway, Drain Life, you get a shield, Health Funnel, you get more healing, and then Healthstone, which is very important. You always want to Soulburn before you Healthstone for increased healing. So I have a macro for that as well for Healthstones. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Oh, I don't have any. The reason it's not showing is because I don't have any actual Healthstones. Get some out here. Oh, it just popped up the second I canceled. Here it is. So Healthstone, so this is going to cast your Soulburn and then a Demonic Healthstone, essentially. And that's just going to, it's literally a lay on hands. You could be at 10% health. If you Soulburn before you Healthstone, you're getting a full health bar. And then really quick, let's just talk about interrupts. So I'm running Mortal Coil, Shadow Fury, and our Axe Toss. So that's our 3 interrupts. You can also fear somebody as well if you're really paying attention. But typically, you know, Axe Toss, Mortal Coil, and Shadow Fury is going to be good. A lot of people just save Mortal Coil as a heal, which is fine. But if there is a priority kick, you can use Mortal Coil for that. Just be careful because Mortal Coil will actually fear the target, and you can actually pull additional mobs if they are too close. And then just a couple other little tips. You want a Dark Pact. It's one of our main defenses. 45-second cooldown. You're going to use this when you're at full health. You get a bigger shield the more health that you have. And then we also have Unending Resolve. And one thing a lot of people don't know about this is this makes you immune to silence and pushback effects for 8 seconds. So just thinking, for example, like the trash in Priory of the Sacred Flame, there is a mob that if you're casting, when its interrupt goes off, you get locked out of your spell school. But if you have Unending Resolve up, you will not get locked. You will just completely ignore the silence effect altogether, and you can just continue to cast. So that Lust Pull at the start of Priory, you should be looking to Unending Resolve anyways because there's a ton of damage that goes out, but just using that as an example. We also have our curses. I want to talk about that. We have Curse of Tongues, Curse of Weakness, Curse of Exhaustion. Curse of Tongues can be really good on the mobs that cast the lightning bolts at the start of Rookery. I mean, pretty much anything that has a priority kick, you're going to be putting Curse of Tongues on that target. And then just an example of using Curse of Exhaustion, the IPA boss in Cinder Brew, you can Curse of Exhaustion the mobs that spawn, and just it's really going to help your group out. So put that on a hotkey somewhere so you can utilize your curses. It's typically overlooked, and it's a huge part of playing Warlock. And then, yeah, just really quick, here's my gate macro for Soulburn and Demonic Gateway. And just to show you what that looks like. Oh, man, I keep messing up my macros by trying to move. Okay, fix that. Have it on my Alt 3 here, and you'll see I can... it got moved. It's fine. Basically, you can Soulburn, and then you can Gateway like this. One thing I will say, though, about using these macros, be careful, because sometimes they do bug out. And I don't know what it is, but sometimes I'll try to Soulburn into like a Healthstone, and it won't let me use it. And I know right now it says you're at full health, but I don't know what it is. But sometimes these macros do bug out. You will run into it at some point or another. So if it, if it were me, I probably wouldn't use these macros. I'm trying to kind of wean myself off of them a little. And I'm trying to just like press Soulburn and then press the associated spell. So I'm not sure I would recommend to use these just because it's kind of buggy. But you can if you want. Try it out. See what you think. The only one of these macros that is like really consistent for me is like my pet. And then obviously, like the DPS macros that we talked about, those are all very consistent. It's just, it has some sort of weird interaction with Soulburn. I really don't know what it is. It's probably some old bug. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll go down to the dummies one more time. And we'll get our pet back. And I will show you guys this opener one more time. And I'm going to use another tempered potion. But, oh well. So we'll go in here. We will... Let me make sure we got everything right. All right. Go ahead and send it. So we'll send our Charhound. We'll send our Dreadstalkers. And we're trying to spread doom between our targets. We're watching our timers here. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Okay, let's go ahead and send our Tyrant. Send Demonic Strength. We're still spreading out our doom. Make sure you're up to 16 imps. We're going to implode this because imps are starting to expire. We got a Runation proc. Okay, I missed some imps there. Use our Dreadstalker proc. Still spreading out doom. We got imps expiring, so we're going to implode. We got Power Siphon back. You can see Charhound is not quite ready yet. We got imps expiring, so we'll go ahead and implode. Okay, now we have a mini burn. So we just sent our Charhound and our Dreadstalkers. Now we'll go ahead and Tyrant on top of that. Into our Demonic Strength. And just continue to build and spend. And then at the end of this window, we will implode. Probably now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, guys, that's how I play Demo Lock. Hopefully it helps some people out. Know what you guys think. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.